Hey everybody, this is Shane,
And this is Nolan.
and you're listening to The Catfish Connection,
Episode
5. Yeah, I also had a brain fart there. I was like, wait, what episode is it?
For those listening at home, in the middle of saying the word episode, I had to lift up 5 fingers and with question eyebrows to say, 5?
I saw the pleading in your eyes.
Because I had no idea what episode we were on for a second. But it was all sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're
working on that synchronization. It's getting pretty good.
Yeah, gotta say, pretty proud of us.
Yeah.
For real.
You ever think about hypotheticals? We're jumping into it right away.
we were looking at, or you were looking at...
Don't tell them that I was looking at podcast ideas because I can't think of things to talk about. Don't say that.
And we came across this thing. I was thinking, do you ever just like, when you're at a 2-story mall or even maybe a bigger mall,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like walking along the railing and you just look down and you're like, God, I wonder what it would be like to throw myself off this right now. And you just look at the ground and you're like, I bet I would die if I jumped out.
I don't... Those thoughts don't usually occur to me in malls, but I constantly think of that, the Sundola at the fair. So at the fair, I don't know if it's called a Sundola everywhere or if it's like a... Anyways, I don't know.
It's a gondola.
Okay. Oh yeah, because it's like the sun fair.
Yeah, Sundome.
Sundome gondola. The Sundola. Okay. But anyways, it's basically a ski lift that goes across the entire fairgrounds. But every time I'm on one of those, I just look down and I think, if this thing was to disconnect from this cable and plummet to the ground, I would not die. Almost certainly I would not die. But my legs would be broken, my pelvis would be shattered, and I'd probably break, I might fracture a few vertebrae. So I would be in agonizing pain, but I probably wouldn't die.
Uh-huh.
Especially if I was to land on one of those tents. Because then it might, first I'll probably break my ankles on hitting the tent, and then it'll either go through, and then I get, lacerated by whatever metal objects hold those tents up, or it bounces backwards, and then I hit my head on the ground, too, and I break my skull open, and I still break my spine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, I have thought about something like that a little bit. And so I used to...
how in depth that was.
Well, because I think the Sundola ride is pretty long, and I'm thinking about that the whole time, so I've given it some thought. Because
you're just sitting there with your butt clenching, just like,
yeah,
God, I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah, my face looks... Because when I'm in my head, I'm not, showing it on my face usually, so I'm just sitting there, I look like I'm perfectly fine, I'm just... But in my head, I'm looking down and I'm just thinking, okay, so if it did disconnect and it starts going down, if I was to push my legs out in front of me, they might not be broken, but if I wasn't fast enough and my legs were underneath the thing a little bit, it would definitely crush my entire lower part of my legs.
I mean, you're pretty high up there. You'd have time to kick your legs out. Let's just think about it.
Well, if you're just paralyzed in fear,
that's true.
Because it all could happen so fast, Trust me, I've thought about that. I've thought about it extensively.
Yeah.
Or one time I spent the entire... Because I knew that I always think about that every time I ride the Sundola, but somehow I still enjoy riding the Sundola, so I always do it.
I never ride that thing.
Really, I love riding it. It really makes me think. But anyways, so I was like, I need to think of something to think about while I'm up here, so I'm not just thinking about me plummeting through the air and breaking my legs. And so I was just, I was thinking about how, what was it? I don't know. I was doing math in my head. But I was just doing algebra, and I had this equation. I was just moving shit around, and by the end of the Sundola ride, I was like, nice. I got a lot of work done. I just thought about math and didn't think about my legs being shattered. Really you know, love the Sundola personally. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not a fan of being that anxious for like.
Well,
half
I'm
an
not
hour.
anxious all the time, so it's really
True.
it's not that difficult. It's just anxious with more views. Because while I'm contemplating my plummeting through the air, I'm also looking around at all the things around me, you know, and I'm like, man, look at all these like people and little shops and stuff and
All these things I could fall onto.
all those things that, you know, I
die.
might crush a child. If I landed on a child, you know,
Oh my
they'd
god.
probably die. I feel, you know, and so I'm like, oh, I hope I don't like land on a kid or a dog or something, you know. I feel like an adult, they might come out of it with like a concussion, maybe a few broken bones. But I don't think an adult would probably die unless I just like crush their chest cavity or crush their head or something.
Mhm.
But
But a kid would just be a stain.
yeah, a kid would just get flattened by one of those things because they're these big metal contraptions, you know. Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
So
We should ride a giant Ferris wheel.
oh
Like
yeah.
one of the ones that's like an.
Oh, I get anxious
entire
on those things too. Especially the ones at the fair because they're like assembled quickly. They have all these zip ties.
Oh,
all
yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah.
So the entire fucking Ferris wheel is held together with zip ties. And so as I'm going around and around, every time I reach the top, I just like look over and I'm like, yep, zip tie's still there. Not gonna plummet right now. Or the what's it called? What's the like really crazy one? It's called like the scrambler or not?
Yeah.
No, not the like outward one, you know, but like the one that like you go around on a belt and and it like turns around.
Oh yeah, that thing's like shaking while you're on it.
Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, and you're in those little boxes, you know, like how they have these little vertical boxes.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You do know which, right?
I've been on that, yeah.
Okay. But I went on it with Skylar Rayburn once.
Wow.
And as we were like starting to hit the top, it like paused at the top and it just stopped. The whole ride just stopped and we were at the very top. And I was just like, "Oh my Jesus Christ. I'm going to die in a metal cage with Skylar Rayburn."
I hate that guy.
And then he's like, you know, he was a cool guy back then. He was just like joking around and stuff. And then he starts like rocking the thing.
Oh my god.
And I can feel the whole cage starts like rocking and we're starting to like full on like, I'd say like 30, 40 degree tilt back and forth. And I'm to the point where we keep looking, like I can see the ground every time it tilts forward and I can just imagine this thing just like, you know, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. Especially because they have these big stickers that say, "Do not rock the cars." And the knot is in like red and underlined.
Oh my god.
And so I'm like, "Skylar, I think you should stop rocking the car now." And he's like, it's fine. And I'm like, oh my god, this is the end of me. You know, and I'm just like, holy shit. And then I can hear somebody like from like the car in front of us, they're like, "Stop rocking the cars." And I'm like, yeah, I think you should stop rocking the cars now. I don't know. It's a very, but eventually it started going again, and then I was like, and then, you know, we had a very good ride after that, I'd say.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love carnival rides. I've just described two different examples of how the fair is just traumatic for me, and I'm like, yeah, I love it. I go every year. I didn't go last year because I was in Pasco and I didn't want to go all the way there because I had work.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of work,
where
were you working?
I was working at Pizza Hut,
Yes, you were.
but not the one in Sela.
Not the one in Sela.
But where did I used to work?
The one in Sela.
I did used to work at the one in
And
Sela.
so did I.
And so did you. We worked there at the same time.
Yeah.
And we worked there with a guy named...
Richard.
And he was a...
Asshole.
Yes! I was gonna say dick, but I changed last minute to asshole, and I was glad that you also said asshole. Because, yeah, that guy sucked. I hated him. And he didn't know how to do anything. He was our manager. One of our managers.
Because we were both cooks at the time.
Yeah, we were the best cooks in the store.
That's true.
We kicked ass. Okay, I guess Caleb was better than me, and Logan was better than me.
Well, they're managers, so they're good managers. They've been there for like 6-7 years.
Yeah, but
we'd only been there for a couple months, and we're like still like just underneath managers.
Yeah, pretty good, dude. Yeah, fucking Caleb was a artist with those pepperonis, dog.
And fucking Mikey with those stuffed crusts.
Oh yeah, Mikey's the Mikey stuffed crust. I only just started to like get near like Mikey levels at when I was at Pasco. Everybody was like, "Dude, some of these stuffed crusts are like really nice," and I was like, "I know, because I use the Mikey."
Because I got trained by fucking Mikey B.
Legend.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you actually taught me how to make stuffed crust first. But I would watch him make stuffed crust.
But at that point, I didn't make stuffed crust nearly as good as he did when I taught you.
But yeah, and eventually, because part of it is the two thumbs, so it gives these nice little like shapes that it has on the fold, so they all look very even. So the two thumbs all the way around, and then like smoothing it like with your hand, you know.
Yeah. But being like super careful with it, so it turns out super conformed.
Yeah.
But also doing it super fast.
Yeah, and I started to get quick at it at Pasco.
Because beginners should do the two thumb method. I think there's like a series of events. You know, you start with the two thumb method because that's what you're taught, but you do it extremely slowly because when you start doing stuffed crusts, they take fucking forever. And then you kind of are like, okay, well, to speed this up, I'm gonna start using more fingers. At least that's what I did, because that's what Caleb taught me, because that's how Caleb does it.
Yeah.
And then you start using more fingers, and then you start getting really fast with it, and then you start like watching Mikey, and you're like, oh my god, he can, and then you start going back to the two thumb thing, but doing it like training to get like super fucking conformed.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because like you don't have to do it fast at first, because your brain will automatically just get quicker at it over time. Right. So you just like start really slow and perfect, and then it stays perfect, and you just get better at it. But yeah, and so I was like whipping out these nice stuffed crusts, like because we would have to like prep. You know, we'd have to prep at the end of the day, because the drivers did that instead of the cooks or anything. And prepping dough I liked prepping dough. It was nice. Because I would start to get like tired of being on the road all the time, and so when I would like go and they'd be like, all right, just clock out or like log out, you know, don't deliver anymore, just do dough and then you can go home. It was like, nice, I can put a headphone in and I can just like make dough for a while. It was very zen. It's very zen.
Yeah, I did enjoy, because there was a time where I was just doing a lot of prep in the morning.
Oh yeah.
And I did enjoy that because there was pros and cons to working dinner shift or working early morning prep. It's like early morning prep isn't as fun with like people.
Yeah.
But you get to listen to music and it's a little more calming.
Yeah, and it's like not stressful as much. So you just kind of go in there, you get your job done, and then you walk out the door, and you're like, all right, I got something done. It wasn't
because you usually only have a handful of orders.
Yeah.
And
except for that one time that I had to make like 30 pizzas, and they didn't even future order it. You know.
There's that on the Super Bowl. I thought the dinner shift was going to be like super crazy, yeah. So I did, but Super Bowl was like crazy during lunch and earlier.
Yeah.
And so I did that all myself and still made like a ton of prep, which didn't get used.
Yeah, and then the people came in, and like all the other people came in for dinner, and it's just like.
Yeah, then you have all the prep.
Because I worked there too.
You worked night, I think.
And I hardly did anything.
Yeah, you were this one that said that nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't much to do.
Valentine's Day was crazy though.
I don't remember if I worked on that.
I worked Valentine's Day because, once again, we're going to get back to this. Richard scheduled me as a CSR on Valentine's Day.
And we're not CSRs.
I was not trained as a CSR. Or actually... honestly, I think I was trained as a CSR because Caleb did have me train as a CSR, but I had never taken anyone's order. I had never used
But
the
you
cash
never had a
register.
shift before.
Yeah, and I had never been taught how to use the cash register.
Oh yeah.
So he scheduled me as a CSR, and then I was like, I'm scheduled as a CSR. Can you show me how to use the cash register? And then he just like, and then like walked away, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you talking? What am I doing here? Why am I here? You know? And so I ended up, they didn't have enough CSRs because a cook got scheduled as a CSR, and I didn't end up doing any CSR work.
Mm-hmm.
I just ended up making pizzas, and then the whole lobby was just filled with people trying to get pizza for Valentine's Day. And there was only one CSR. I think it was either just Miley or just Logan, I think. I don't know. Either way, they only had one CSR and then Richard. And Richard doesn't like talking to people out there. So he's fucking super slow at it, and like it was just a nightmare. And I remember going home from Valentine's Day and being like, I felt no love in that kitchen. That was a living hell. And we were having to deal with the pizza cutters, the heart-shaped pizzas. Shaped pizzas.
I never made very many of those. I also didn't work that day though.
Yeah, we made quite a few. And then every once in a while, did this ever happen to you? After Valentine's Day, we would occasionally just get a heart pizza order.
I had that happen once or twice.
And I would just be like, what?
Like, I don't understand the point of the heart pizzas. It's the same price, but for less pizza.
Yeah. Yeah, we literally cut the pizza off and then throw it in the garbage. And then we're like, here, it's the same.
Yeah, because we make dough the same way, so we're like, okay, we have a full pizza here. Let me take off like half of the dough that we have for this pizza.
And plus, like, a heart is not an optimal shape for a pizza. All the fucking pieces are different sizes and shit.
It's such like a, like, I wouldn't even like think of getting like a heart-shaped pizza on Valentine's Day, just because it's like some weird, like, you know, I don't understand why people are like, ooh, it's a heart. It means
love.
It means love. I can just give him just cut out a heart and then get a full-size pizza.
Or fucking learn how to cook for your girlfriend, dog, or your boyfriend.
True.
You know, it's like,
for real,
dude. It's Valentine's Day. Like, cook something. Make it, you know, have like a fun night making food, but they're just like, order a pizza, and somebody else will make it a heart shape, so it says I love you.
Yeah, it's like they don't do anything else for Valentine's Day. It's like, that was the minimum effort that they put in.
They like pick a dandelion out of the yard, and they're like, here, I got this for you.
And a heart-shaped pizza.
And a heart-shaped pizza.
And they're like, oh my god, really? A heart-shaped pizza?
Oh, honey,
everything I've ever fucking wanted.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah. Honestly, don't.
But yeah, fucking Pizza Hut was crazy though.
Yeah.
Sela was definitely way better than. I mean, Sela had its pros and cons.
Like Richard, big con.
Yeah, but he wasn't there for long. Like, pros.
He got fired.
Yeah. Cons of Sela is the rampant unprofessionalism, but the pros of Sela is the rampant unprofessionalism.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it kind of is a double-edged sword. Because for one thing, everybody's fucking paychecks are always going all over the place. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets anything done. People don't get disciplined. People used to get written up
mm-hmm.
at Pasco. Like, every couple of weeks it'd be like, oh, somebody got written up. You know, I didn't see a single person get written up at Sela.
I think I saw one, and it was only because of Brenna leaving on Halloween while I was there.
Oh yeah.
Alone.
Yeah, but it's pretty fucking rare.
And then Caleb, who was the manager, he was like the main manager. He kept trying to bring back more structured things, like if you fuck up a pizza, you have to log it on a piece of paper. No one ever did that.
Yeah.
Like 4, I think, ever got logged. And then 2 weeks later, the paper was gone, and nobody, and I never saw it again.
You remember the list, the like closing cook list that he put on the door that was like, every night you need to clean the entire make table. You need to wipe down the doors. You need to like scrub everything down, like a deep clean, like a weekly clean. He was like, you got to do this every day now. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And then we did it like once, and then we were like,
I mean, I was good at I did it fully like a few times, and then gradually I did less and less until I was just basically doing maybe a little bit more than what I was doing before.
Well, because what happened to me is that I was like, I try not to like complain when I'm at work. So I saw the list and I like was doing the whole thing, and so I did the whole thing the first night, and then the second night, Caleb wasn't the manager; it was Mikey.
Oh.
And so I was like chipping ice off of the inside of the thing and like cleaning the whole thing out. And Mikey comes by, he's like, "Why are you cleaning the whole make table right now?" And I was like, "Well, because Caleb said that we need to do this every night." He's like, it's fine. And so after that, I was like, it's fine.
Honestly, Mikey gets so bored after everyone leaves that he just cleans the whole place anyway.
Yeah. Ugh. God bless Mikey Brasino. Love that guy. The whole staff was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Save for a couple of whack people, but like it was a good vibe. It was a good community.
Yeah, it was like a lot of people actually liked coming to work, which actually like it made the work. Nobody liked doing extra work, but the work ethic for the work that they normally did was actually pretty good.
Most of the time, yeah.
As far as like depending on the person.
Yeah. And it was also, context dependent. It depends on who's your manager and what kind of a night it is. If it's like a really busy night, then everybody's in good form. But like if it's a slow night, then people are throwing pepperonis around and fucking doing whatever, Miley was always throwing fucking sausages all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
And there was that time that fucking one of the CSRs was getting harassed by a drunk guy, and Richard hid because he didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Who did end up dealing with it?
Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell, of course.
The sweetest man alive.
Good old Mitchell.
Yeah.
It was Josie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, yeah, Richard was a scumbag. I think that must be, like, why he got fired, right?
I think so. I hope so. Or, I think...
That and because his numbers were always up.
Yeah, because he always kept people way too late.
Yeah.
And so...
Because he didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah, so, like, he didn't understand that, like, you can't keep the miners there for, like, 2 hours past when they're supposed to be off just because you can't cook.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he got hired. Like,
me neither.
He once made me stay and prep pastas at like 9:30 at night.
Stay.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Well, you stayed because I think he asked specifically me, and you just stayed to help me because.
Oh, okay.
Because you were already off, but you stayed to help me.
Oh, okay. Either way, I kept making pastas, and that's even worse because I'm making pastas for free in that case.
And so we were both minors.
Yeah.
Well, I was 18, but you were 17. But we were both young, and like.
In high school.
Yeah, we were both in high school, and this man was making us fucking super duper late.
Mm-hmm.
Just to make some prep that no one was going to use. Didn't we make like 6?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's 9, nobody orders pasta at 10.
Yeah, 3 trays of pastas.
Like, if anyone orders, like, Pizza Hut late at night, it's like, pizza and wings.
Yeah. A medium pizza and wings.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. Because I do remember, I still was on the clock.
Oh.
I think I was asking to leave because I was the short shift cook. And so I was supposed to leave at like 6:30, and it was like 9:00. And then and you were supposed to leave at 7:30, and it was like 9:00. And so I was like, can we go now? Can we leave? Both of our shifts are done. And then he's like, how many pastas are in there?
Yeah. But he doesn't say that right away ever. You have to like...
Oh,
he
yeah.
like looks at you and goes...
Yeah, he just kind of like looks at you strangely, and then he'll like look away, and you're like, can I leave?
Noise here and there. Like a...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it must be so hard, Richard. It must be so hard being you. He's like, how many pastas are in there? And we're like...
Enough.
We're like,
I don't know. Let me go check.
I think there's like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And he's like, how about you make 6 of them and then you can go? And I was like, sure thing, Richard. Fuck you. I hate you. And then, we were just like over at the make table just talking about how much we hate him.
Yeah.
While he sits in the fucking back room and just sits at the computer looking at the cameras and shit.
And then we'd be sitting...
Or his usual spot by the cut table. Yeah. Where he just stares up at the screen like a fucking farm animal.
Because he has this... It was just so funny to me because he's like a boomer that is like, oh, if you gotta be working all this, like, Yeah,
when I was a kid.
And it's just funny to me because we would just be like, okay, we finished everything that needs to be done right now. Let's just hang out until something else comes up that needs to be done. And then he would just be like, oh, he would get mad at us.
Having a powwow in here?
Yeah. He'd be ridiculous and get mad at us. But then when he wasn't doing anything, he'd just, stand there. And it's like, well, if you're just going to stand there and do nothing and look up at the screen, then... That's not any work either.
Well, because he would stand there and watch it as if something's just gonna like happen. Like,
and sometimes he would even do that when there was work to do, which was the big difference.
Yeah, like the phone would be ringing or some shit,
or like there would be pizzas in the rack like that needed to be cut coming out of the oven that were holding back more pizzas, and he would just stare at them, and Miley's like, "Hey, you gotta cut those."
Yeah.
And then he's like...
Yeah, or like... I remember he kept Josie really late one time, and then she asked if she could count her till, and he just like... She was like, Richard, can I count my till? And then he just like leaned around this like shelf that was separating us from him. He just leans over and looks at us, just with this dead expression on his face, and looks at Josie, and then just like unleans back into the fucking...
I don't think this guy was ever alive.
Yeah, I think he died a long time ago, and he's just been haunting Pizza Hut. But yeah, and so it's... And Josie's just like, did anybody else just fucking see that?
Yeah, we go to Omar and we're like, hey, what happened to Richard? Like, he just never came back. Did you fire him? He's like, Richard who? I don't remember hiring a Richard.
Richard's been dead for 40 years.
Yeah, and we're like... Oh my God!
It was just that's why he's such a dick, is he's just a vengeful ghost trying to fuck up some teenagers' lives. Yeah, we should, honestly, now that we're not employees, we should just like try and catch Omar in there sometime and be like, Omar, what happened to Richard? Did he get fired? Like, because, he's not going to like write us up for like fucking with him or anything. Uh-huh. What's he going to do? Call the cops on us? He'll probably be like, that's confidential information.
And you don't work here anymore.
Yeah. Fuck it. Omar was alright. He had his booth.
Yeah.
His trademark booth.
He intimidated me sometimes, but I think that's just because of his stature.
Yeah. That intimidating grin.
Yeah, and just
always
like
so
upbeat.
His
position in the company.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of you remember in SpongeBob when the Krusty Krab gets taken over and turned into like a diner, and there's the guy with the glasses, and he's like, the less you know, Eugene, the better. Because he's like all upbeat, but at the same time he's like, if you say the wrong thing, I'm going to fucking kill you.
I remember that episode.
Yeah, because I always got the same vibe from Omar, where I'm just like, he's just this menacing spirit who's just like, seems like he's in a good mood all the time, but you know that if you fuck with him, he'll be like, Big Omar is gonna
Yeah.
kill you, but with a smile on his face. But yeah, and he would sit in that booth because you couldn't see him in the cameras, and so you'd be like, is Omar still here? And you'd look at the cameras and you're like, it's all clear. And then you go out to get a drink and you're like,
Yeah.
there he is in the
You gotta
car.
like do a little peek out the window.
Yeah, through the
The little front like gap.
porthole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Sound the alarm. Fuck.
Topics. What was our other topic?
Well, the first topic. Well, we only came up with Pizza Hut and things that are, and the jumping off the mall.
Hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals, yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, I couldn't think of anything.
But yeah, well, I mean, the thing got kind of turned into like carnival rides anyway. But yeah, because sometimes I'll just be like walking in a mall and I just look down and I'm like, that's so far down. Like, it's so white and clean and utopian.
Yeah.
And I just want to
Modern.
make it not white and clean anymore.
Yeah. Land head first.
Yeah.
Let your melon juice just spill out onto the ground.
Is that like a normal thing to just
Oh, I'm sure.
be like drawn
Well, yeah, it's
towards
called
self-destruction?
an intrusive thought.
Okay.
A lot of people get them.
And there's like self-destructive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like OCD is like mostly like obtrusive thoughts and stuff. Intrusive. Either way, it's intrusive. But yeah, they're pretty natural, I'd say.
Yeah. I get them for a couple things, but that like one seems to go without fail. Like without fail whenever
I do get it with cliffs. Like
Oh, yeah?
when I like just getting really close to the edge of the cliff
my
and being
God.
like, I could just jump right now. I could just jump off this cliff right now.
Man, I don't think I would do that.
Why malls but not cliffs?
Well, I don't like getting close to the edge of cliffs because I don't want to like accidentally fall. I'm terrified of accidents.
Well, I don't want to accidentally
Like
fall.
I don't trust myself.
That's why it's so exhilarating, is because I don't want to accidentally fall, but I know that I could, and I could jump if I wanted to. It's like holding your life in your hands. You've never been so close to oblivion.
But I also am the thing I'm afraid of is it not being in my hands. Like, I'm standing
And then
that
the
close
wind
to the edge, or like something like it crumbles, or like something like hits my foot, or like I trip.
Or a loud noise goes off and it startles you or something.
There's so many variables.
It's a lot of variables.
And I don't trust myself to not react and die to some
like,
of them.
I want to like... I used to be really scared of like... I didn't like climbing ladders. Just because like... The actual like ladder climbing part was totally fine, but it's the transition from like roof, if you're going up onto a roof, from ladder to roof, like having to like step over and you feel like the ladder's gonna like, eek, that always scared me. Like the first like getting your leg up over the side of the thing and being like, I could fall off of a roof right now. Plus my dad got his arm almost ripped off by a ladder, so.
Yikes.
That was pretty gnarly. I wasn't alive then, but yeah, he because he worked on at the Yakima training center as a fireman.
Right.
And they were carrying this big ladder, and my dad just was like, "Let me help you," and put his arm through this ladder, and started trying to help carry it, and then as he was doing that, the guy in the back, I'm too close to the mic, the guy in the back just let go of it because he thought he was taking it, and so it just like dropped, and my dad hadn't like settled into it yet, so yeah, it just dropped and like, and yeah, his arm was just like hanging off and shit. Yeah. They had to stitch the muscle back together.
Oh wow, yeah.
He's got a big old scar that's just like, it's crazy. Ladder facts. Almost tried to kill my dad. Maybe that's why I'm afraid of ladders.
Enormous was that ladder?
Oh, it was a big, heavy, like 100-foot metal ladder.
Yeah.
Like a fireman's ladder.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Shit, man. My dad's got Wild stories all over the place.
I guess they just gotta be like that ridiculously heavy if you want them to be stable and really heavy.
Yeah. Because, you don't want it to be
Going
creaking or going all over the place.
How many people does it take to carry one of those?
Well, apparently they were doing fine with 2, but
Okay.
the thing is that they were struggling, which is why my dad helped them.
Right.
And then, but it hadn't settled yet.
Yeah.
And he was in the middle, so there was more weight on his shoulder.
Yeah, why would the guy assume he was taking it if he just got in the middle? That seems kind of weird.
Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, he's not in college. He's, that guy was, just your average Joe. Making the world go round. He's not a professor of math and physics.
And I thought we'd been talking for a while, but it's only been like 36 minutes.
Oh, tell me about it. I'm dying.
Well, what else do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about how we couldn't find Monopoly yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That irritated me.
That was not yesterday,
Dude.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely.
Several days ago.
Well, we couldn't find Monopoly. Well, it was last recording session, which is why I thought it was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Because time flies so fast. I'm just waiting for the next recording session. But anyways, I wanted to play Monopoly. And I was like, Shane, we should buy Monopoly. And Shane said, I will pay for some of that Monopoly if you pay for some of that Monopoly. And I said, I will pay for some of that Monopoly, Shane. And he said, let's go to the store. And so we went to the store to buy. We wanted to get Gamer Monopoly.
Oh, yeah.
But sadly, they didn't have Gamer Monopoly, so we were like, what do we do now? Let's look at what other Monopoly options we have. Because I just wanted regular Monopoly, with a different skin, essentially, with gamer stuff.
Right, yeah.
But still just Monopoly.
Just like how you can get chess in, like,
Exactly.
Zelda's, like, pieces,
Yes.
It's not changing chess.
Yeah, so we were we were like, fuck, they don't have Gamer Monopoly. Well, they don't have just Monopoly either.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy just regular Monopoly.
It doesn't exist anymore.
I think, it got deleted. They're like, we don't need to sell just regular Monopoly. When we got Fortnite Monopoly.
Yeah.
And so our options were Miss Monopoly, Fortnite Monopoly, and
Cheaters Monopoly.
Cheaters Edition, yeah.
Cheaters Edition.
Who's talking? Do you hear that? Huh.
I did hear it, but it's gone now.
Weird. Anyways, but they were all Monopoly with like alternate gameplay mechanics and stuff. Like Fortnite had like walls and shit. Cheaters Edition had these like different cards and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember why we didn't just buy Miss Monopoly. But
I don't know either.
Because I think at one point I said, oh yeah, we should just buy Miss Monopoly because it's just Monopoly, but it's a woman, I guess. Was there a reason?
I think it's because we were like, well, let's go check somewhere else first.
Yeah, we were like, let's go check Walmart, and then we realized that Walmart was closed.
After we drove all the way there.
Yeah, because, their, like, temporary COVID hours are 8 till 8:30, and it was 9.
Mm. Yeah.
So, we did, we didn't want to drive all the way back to Fred Meyer.
Did you explain why we didn't get Fortnite Monopoly?
Yeah, because it had, like, walls. It had, like, alternate gameplay.
And die, yeah.
And a weird die.
You could pick up, like, health packs and ammo packs and stuff like that.
And I was like, not fucking with that.
Yeah,
I just want to play fucking Monopoly.
This isn't Monopoly anymore. This is Fortnite.
I can't believe you can't just be like, I want Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
I want our original ass Monopoly. Okay?
Yeah.
Seems suspect to me. Jeez, I got a lot of gas in my stomach right now.
And we had SpongeBob Monopoly at one point, which was just regular Monopoly, but with SpongeBob stuff.
Yeah, and I think we had We probably have Monopoly somewhere, but I'm sure it's like missing cards and all kinds of shit. So it's like, but I do have Monopoly on Xbox, which is $15.
That's a lot of money for a digital.
That's how much we were gonna spend on it for the real thing.
Yeah, but you know, for a digital Xbox download,
this is Monopoly Plus. Shane.
Oh, okay, that's different then.
It's Monopoly. It's got live boards. It's got all kinds of different boards. It's got, fun gameplay mechanics.
Mm.
And the nice thing for me about playing it on the Xbox is that Monopoly's rules are kind of complicated sometimes, but on Xbox it just keeps track of all the rules for you. You can't cheat really. You can't like.
But that's
do
all the strategy.
Is cheating.
Is finding ways to cheat without.
By the way, speaking of cheating, when you guys come over to my house, we should play poker. Because I've been wanting to play poker, and nobody ever wants to play poker.
I don't play I play poker so little that every time I play poker, I forget how to play poker.
Maybe I'll beat you at it. Maybe that'll be my game. Maybe poker will be my game. But yeah, I don't know. I
don't think we're good enough at poker to actually be skilled at it.
It's easy. You just have to know the hands.
But at a certain point, it's just luck until you're like a master at it, and then it's not luck anymore.
Well, there's skill.
That's what I'm talking about. But it's really hard to grasp that skill at a lower level.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Okay, whatever you say.
Come on. You got this, Shane. Believe in yourself. Believe!
I'm just saying it's a game of luck.
It is. It's a game of chance, but it's a game of strategy at the same time, Shane. You're not just like, I guess I'll, do whatever, and sometimes I'll win and sometimes I'll lose. You can do it and have strategy at it. We're gonna play poker.
Fun.
Because I want to play poker.
All right.
And I don't care if you guys have fun. I have my Magic cards in my car in case you want to play Magic.
Cool. I have my Magic cards in my car too, which is ironic because we're actually at my house.
Sick. But do I have drink left? I need more drink.
You indeed do have drink left.
Water. This is water. I'm drinking 100% pure Shane house tap water right now.
Mm-hmm.
Straight from the source.
The purest water.
Yep. The purest Shane's house tap water.
Sanctified by my Christian mother.
I love city water. I'm just kidding. I hate city water. Dude. Oh man.
I'm a country boy that has country water.
I'm less country and more like whenever we go out to Mel and Dave's house, they have a spring where they get their water from. So there's actually a rock.
That would be pretty sweet.
You go out to this rock with a jug, and they have a little tube that comes out, and then you just go hold it under that tube, get some spring water, and you're like, this water came straight out of the ground. This is so sick, and it tastes great. Mm-hmm. It's got like minerals in it.
Healthy living.
It's beautiful. It's really fantastic. And then I come back to even my house, and I drink the tap water at my house, and it's well water, so it's pretty good. And I'm just like, fuck, this water sucks. But especially Sela water, just running through all these 1,000-year-old pipes.
Well, we have a fridge with a water dispenser, and you still use the tap.
I just got it from the water dispenser.
Oh, okay.
I still consider that tap water, though.
Well, okay, but I've seen you get it from the tap before, so yeah. I just figured you...
Well, it's so slow, your fucking fridge, Shane.
Yeah, it is slower than my old one.
It takes forever, so I'd rather just go... gunk,
Yeah, I've gotten used to it by now, but I don't know why it's so much slower than that.
It's whack.
I think this house, the water pressure and the water heating is just so slow, much slower in this house.
Yeah, and we used to have a water filter. We used to have a special tap for the water filter that came out of the water filter, and it was like this little like spout that had a little tiny lever on. I loved it because because like there was the main faucet and then the little water dispenser on the counter. But now
you have a thing on your faucet, don't you? You have a purifier?
No.
Oh really?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you did.
It's just a regular thingamaboo. But it's well water.
Yeah.
And we have a water filter. I think we have a water filter like out in the well house now. But the thing about our old water filter spout that we had was that the water filter inside, it would occasionally do this thing where it just goes.
Wow.
And it was super loud. And so you'd just be like sitting in the kitchen, everybody's having a good time, and then just and everybody'd be like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" You know, and it'd scare the shit out of everybody. You know. My fridge does that sometimes too. Do you ever have that happen to you where your fridge just goes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
One time I was having a bad night and I was super paranoid. And I was like filling up my water and I was trying not to look at the window because windows like when I get paranoid they still freak me out. They used to freak me out all the time, but now it's only when I'm like tweaking on meth, whenever I'm on meth. But anyways, I'm trying not to like look at the window and I'm all like in my head and all like paranoid and shit. And then I'm standing right next to my fridge and it just does that and it's super loud and it scared the crap out of me. And I like spilled half of my water back into the sink and I like almost threw up just from like sheer panic. It was pretty nuts.
Wow.
And then I was just like, God damn it! Like, fuck, the fucking fridge just scared the shit out of me.
I don't think I've ever had so much fear and panic that I threw up, or almost threw up, even.
It's happened to me a couple times.
Really?
Yeah. One time when I watched, or I listened to a podcast about cryptocurrency, and it was like about these people getting hacked. And that like freaked me out so much that I had to unplug everything in my room and then lay on the floor for like half an hour and just cry.
Yeah.
And then one time I got like really freaked out about ghosts or something, and so I got really freaked out. And then I just like sat in the corner of my room, like in an area where I could see the whole rest of my room, you know, so there wasn't any like dark corners or anything. And I just like played ukulele until I felt like I wasn't about to die.
Speaking of ghosts, if any of you have a ghost problem, Nolan and I are, including David, are professional ghost hunters.
Yeah. Me, Shane, and David. We are... Did we ever come up with a name for our ghost hunting enterprises?
I don't think so.
Well, either way. I guess just Black Spindle Ghost Hunting Incorporated. Yeah. But either way, we wanted to be ghost hunters for quite a while. So if your house is haunted and you want to let some teenagers roam around your house alone, unsupervised, then hit us up. Or if you know like some kind of abandoned or vacant building that is haunted and that we can roam around in, that would be great too. Or just any haunted areas that we can access. Because I want to see a ghost. I have still never seen a ghost.
Me neither.
Yeah. I have, I've only like hallucinated creepy shit. But I've never had a ghost experience. And it makes me upset, because I'm like, there are so many people who believe ghosts are real and so many people who have seen ghosts and shit. And I'm just like, why not me? Why can I never see ghosts?
You should tell our listeners about your auditory hallucinations.
Oh man, maybe we should save that one for like a creepy episode.
Alright.
Let's have like a Halloween episode or something.
Yeah.
And we can talk about spooky stories.
Yeah, sounds good.
Spooky, creepy stories.
Yeah, that would always gives me goosebumps, makes my skin crawl.
Yeah, it doesn't affect me as much anymore when I think about it, but it used to like even creep me out, like just thinking about it.
Right.
But I don't know. I guess it's just been pretty long since anything like that's happened. Like I still have the regular ones occasionally, well, but like I don't have any particularly frequent ones. I'm just like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah.
Cause you know, it's I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about. I don't know where I was going with that. What else can we talk about?
We have a chess game on Instagram.
We still have a chess game on Instagram.
Yeah.
Because we did talk about that, right?
Did we?
Yeah. And then we were like... Because there was a whole episode where the whole beginning half we were just talking about chess, right?
That's true.
But we can...
It's been going really slowly.
Yeah. But, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how well I'm doing right now. I'm kind of concerned.
I mean, it hasn't tipped in, like... Because the like, live game we played on chess.com was fast, and I had the upper hand pretty quickly, but I don't really have the upper hand yet. So.
Yeah, because it does kind of tend to be pretty level for a while, and then just like, zoop.
Right.
You know? And then there can be reversals, but...
Right.
A lot of the time it's just...
Yeah.
You just start to get fucked, and then you're like, oops, alright. There's nothing I can do.
You said you were going to bring your guitar, but then you forgot it.
I did forget. Yeah, I was feeling like really... I was just like, oh man, I just like want to play some guitar. I was listening to Courtney Barnett. I was listening to... I can't remember his name. But this like lo-fi artist. But he was playing like
David Cook.
More like guitar stuff. Yeah, David Cook, my favorite lo-fi artist. My boy. The man, the myth, the legend. D. Cook. The other one, not our friend. I've never actually listened to the other guy. I don't know if he's good. The other David Cook.
Oh, like the old-fashioned famous musician.
Or is he that famous? There was like another guy.
In the early 2000s, I knew that there was a David Cook that was a musician. And I didn't know about... It was like... I wouldn't say he was like famous, but he was like a name. Like people knew it.
Interesting.
I think there's been a couple David Cook musicians though.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I could name a single one that I've heard of.
David Cook.
Okay. I guess I did word that a little incorrectly. But nah, David is definitely the most prolific of all of them.
Which one are we talking about?
I'll never say.
Fuck.
I'll never say his name. Okay, I'll tell you. It was David Cook.
Shit. Fuck.
David.
God.
Alan Cook.
Okay.
Turns out two of them are David Alan Cook.
Where they all are.
Fuck!
All the David Cook musicians have the middle name Alan for some reason.
Yeah. Imagine that hypothetically.
That would be crazy.
Whoa. I can just imagine
crazy.
if that was true.
it's just slightly tangible in my brain, man.
We're just like the worst improv comedians ever. We're just like, we're just up on stage. We're just like, imagine.
Imagine that, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially, dude, like old school improv makes me cringe really bad. Like, you know, like, cause improv is more like a skill that like all comedians use, you know, but the people who are like do improv where they like go up on stage with like a troupe and they're like, what do you want to see? and they're like, oh, Blender, and they're like, you know, and it's just like, ugh, this is comedy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Some like, and even like older stand-up just makes me cringe a little bit. Cause
even most new most stand-up.
Yeah, there's a lot of shitty stand-up out there.
It's like, it's hard to find like actually good comedians.
Yeah, and especially because I've seen so many good ones that I've ran out of like good comedy specials.
I think that so many people in the world have such low standards of what they find funny that like
any of those will work.
Yeah,
just like
you don't even have to be that funny to be a comedian but like the ones that are really funny fucking kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's like I've kind of like run out, and then I'm like, oh, I want to watch a comedy special because I love comedy specials, and I'm like, oh, this one looks interesting, and then I just get like half an hour in, and I realize that I keep wanting to like check my phone and stuff, and I'm like, why am I not paying attention? And I'm like, oh, because this sucks and it's not interesting or funny.
Yeah.
That's why I'm constantly just like wanting to stop watching it and to go do something else, you know? Because I always think, whenever I start getting distracted like that, I'm like, oh man, why am I so distracted? You know, I'm such a distractible person. Like, it's something that's wrong with me. And then I realize, I'm like, oh, this media I'm consuming is really fucking boring. And my brain doesn't want to watch it anymore. That's why I'm getting restless. It's because this is dumb and it sucks.
Yeah. Because like I'll watch like shows, like even like, let's say for instance American Idol or like other singing shows like that, you know, they're like the ones that have judges, especially recent ones. The judges will be like acting crazy and the whole show is just about like the personality of the judges.
Yeah,
it's become less about less about the actual singing or talent or whatever, and more about like the personality of the judges being ridiculous.
Yeah, especially because it's also like, it's not like it's natural, you know. It's not like they're just being them, you know. It's like,
yeah, because they're trying to be funny, and the way that they're being funny makes everyone laugh hysterically, and then my dad and I are just like, huh?
But at the same time,
like,
in the studios, they're like encouraged to like laugh at stuff.
Yeah, but even like the audience of like the live audience at like American Idol.
Yeah,
you know, they're like, have a good time right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they like a lot of like live shows. They have like an applause sign and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but also because they don't want to like fuck up the take or anything, because they want to be on TV. So they're like, ah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting.
Oh, but that's okay. But honestly, we know a lot of people from high school that would have found that shit hilarious.
That's true.
So I just think that there's a lot of people out there that those people grew into.
The kind of people who watch like, what's that show? Wildin' Out?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh my god, it's the dumbest show ever. And I gotta admit, I kind of liked watching it occasionally, but because it was just like really dumb, and I was just like, they're just like really dumb, and then but occasionally I'm just like, why are we watching this? This is not good at all. But yeah, like, but imagine how brutal it would be if one of the judges just like, they just like they're like being crazy, and then the whole audience is just like, and then the judge is
that would make me laugh.
Yeah, and then the judge is just like, yeah, and they just like trail off, and then you just hear like a. Yeah. Dude, that's another thing about the chess tournaments I've been watching, is because like I like reading the comments and a lot of them, and there was this one video that somebody commented, they were like, man, these chess players are interrupting the coughing championship that's going on in the background, because I didn't notice it before, but I start playing the video after that and I just hear You know, just like all over the place. Like, oh my god,
Everywhere.
there's nothing people can do other than cough while watching chess, apparently.
It's funny that you didn't even notice, because it's like, it's crazy that we're so used to that being like a background noise that even when you see it in another medium, like it just, you tune it out as background noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, and then the whole time it was like bugging me because I was like, oh my god, these people are fucking coughing so loud. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Or like, oh dude, I was watching one yesterday, and there's like a lot of really strict rules around those places about like talking during a match and like stuff like that.
Mm.
Like if your opponent like talks during your turn, you can like call a fucking judge and be like, he talked, he loses, and then they're just like, yeah, he loses because he said the words.
Oh, wow.
Or like
So there's no trash talking and touch it.
no, it's silent. Have you
like,
never seen?
Well, I figured that there wouldn't be any trash talking in chess matches, but I just think it's funny.
You know, like, oh, that was stupid.
You're an idiot.
You really moved your queen
God,
there, bro.
I can't believe I'm playing you.
Dude, you just developed that way too early.
Because I think that would be like a good strategy and mental like a barrier and obstruction to get through.
I think it's like poker where you're supposed to, you know, like you have bluffs occasionally and stuff like that where you're just like trying not to give away what you're doing, and so you're just concentrated and silent, you know. What was that noise? Are there people outside?
Yeah, my window's open.
Oh, gotcha. Fuck, what were we talking about? We were talking about chess.
Trash talking in chess.
But yeah, and so like, this one time, I was watching a video of Hikaru Nakamura playing some guy, and Hikaru like accidentally like knocked over a rook, and then immediately like stood it back up, and the other guy he just is like sitting there like keeps like looking over at the arbiters, and being like, you know, like, come over here, but he's like not saying anything. He's just sitting there and his time's running down, and he's just like. And then a guy finally comes over. He's like, what's the problem? And then he's like, the rook, he like keeps like gesturing it with his hands that he like knocked it over, and he's saying that it was a distraction, and that's an illegal move. And so he finally, like, while they're talking, his time is running down. He's lost like 4 minutes at this point, and then he's like, can I pause the timer? He's speaking in another language at the same time, so he just is gesturing mostly, but he like lifts up the timer. He's like, can I pause the timer? And then the arbiter's like, fucking fine, pause the timer. And he pauses the timer, and then he's arguing with this guy, and then eventually the arbiter's like, I don't care, just keep playing. And he's like, but the rook, and he's like, I don't care, just like he keeps gesturing like, just stop, like keep playing. And he's like, and then he's finally like, fine, you know, and then Hikaru just like starts the timer again, and he's like so irritated because this guy, you know, it's like when soccer players just like curl onto the ground because somebody like looked at them the wrong way, and they just like start crying. You know, it's like Hikaru's just like, fuck you, trying to fuck me up like this.
Yeah.
You know, because I accidentally knocked over a piece, you know, and then
yeah, it's not a game of like dexterity of the hand.
Yeah.
It's you're battling like your wit, you know.
And then Hikaru starts steamrolling this guy, and then he had like 12 minutes left on the clock, and then wasted like 8 minutes considering one move, and then ended up like doing like the obvious move of he like moved his knight back or something, and it was, and so he went from like 12 minutes to like 4 minutes. And then Hikaru was still at like 11 minutes. And so he just tanked this guy because he's having to like make quick moves, and Hikaru's like, you know, like taking his time. I don't know. It was really funny. And I'm like, fuck you, guy. Because you know, it's like he obviously knows that he's going to get his ass beat. So he just tries to like be a snake, be a rat, and just like...
He moved his ring.
He knocked the rook over. He's trying to distract me. Son, I think you're distracted. I think you're distracting yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like if you're having the entire time you're having a conversation with a judge, you're not thinking about chess and the game.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole reason that the rules about like distractions and stuff are there is because it's like, oh well, it's like taking your head out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like he took my head out of the game for like half a second because he knocked the rook over. So now I'm going to waste 10 minutes just talking to this judge and arguing with him. And then he's so like unfocused that it takes him 8 minutes to make one move when he's like already low on time.
Yeah.
What can I say? What are we at?
Wow, it's only 9:50 right now, and it's an hour and 5 minutes.
Do you want to call it here? Or do you think we can keep going?
We could keep going for a little while.
You have stuff to talk about?
Well, I was actually gonna talk about I was thinking about talking about Persona just a little bit because I've been playing,
but no
a lot of
spoilers.
it. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil the story.
Because Shane surpassed me. You think I don't know what you've been talking about? Dethroned, made a jester by my own son.
I've just been playing it so much recently that like all I can think about. So obviously I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
On here, I don't even know what to talk about, but I've been playing probably a consistent 10 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really straight?
No.
Oh, okay.
Broken up throughout the day, but still each day.
How long are your chunks?
Generally around 4 hours, but sometimes up to 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I couldn't sit there for that long.
I don't usually though.
I could sit there that long watching
so weird for me.
An anime if I'm really into it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely can. I think I did spend let's see, there were 12 episodes, I think, and they were each half an hour long. So I think 6 hours watching Dorohedoro.
I mean, you don't do much in that game physically, so it kind of is like watching an anime for that long.
Yeah, I guess so. Because you're just clicking through dialogue most of the time.
And then because the actual sneaking around when you're actually attacking people isn't that hard either.
Yeah.
That's the most interactive thing in their game, and it's not that interactive.
It is. It's hard for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm on normal mode, whereas you're on easy mode. But
okay, whatever you say.
Because I definitely have to pick my battles because I'll get fucked up if I just fight every guy I see. Because there are some, but at the same time, today there was how some enemies when they're really powerful they have an aura they have I went up to one of those guys and I two-shotted him and it was 5 angels.
Oh wow.
And I just I think I mabufu'd and then I think I mafried and then they were gone and I was like, well, there you have it, folks.
There you have it. Yeah.
All those angels are dead now. And I've been collecting personas nonstop too.
Mm-hmm.
I have an angel too.
Oh yeah, you got the BD, the sadomasochist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also I learned how to do the negotiations by type because you have to know what they want to hear and say the right things sometimes. Do you do that? Have you ever done that?
I only usually
when they're
steal their power if they're begging me.
I need to get you. Oh, really? You don't talk to them? Because honestly for me it's worth it to every time I what's it called when you knock them all down? Hold up.
Yeah.
Every time I hold them up, I either ask to take their persona or ask for an item. Because it's worth it to just get an item instead of just attacking it and killing it for nothing. Because they'll go away either way. But I guess if you just have the impulse to smash, then you can do that. But But it's worth it for me to get an item every time or get a new persona.
I just don't care about making the game hard enough for myself that I have to worry about things like that.
Mm.
You
I know, I like it. You know, it makes it... It's challenging.
Well, the thing is, I don't think that... Because I've played games that hard before, I don't think that if I played it on that difficulty that I would beat it. Because at some point, I would run out of steam. And that's what I'm afraid of happening. So I just want to play it as, like, an easy difficulty and just, like, actually beat the game.
Yeah.
You know? And maybe after I beat the game, I'll go back on a harder difficulty. And then actually do it for sport.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I don't know, you played, what do you play God of War on? You play it on, like, one of the hard difficulties, and that's a hard game.
That's a different style, because that's like... I'm just good at that kind of... Or these are, like, stressful, like, anxiety-inducing, like, decision games. That's not a decision game. That's, like, a kill everything and become really good at killing everything.
Gotcha.
And then just keep doing that. And
yeah, I guess so.
Moving on, you know?
Yeah, well, because part of my enjoyment is I like maximizing and, like, optimizing and, like, figuring out, like, stuff like that because I'm bad at kill everyone games. Because I suck at console. And so anything that requires, like, controller dexterity, I'm not about it. But anything that takes, like, decision-making, like Persona, because Persona doesn't take, like, any controller dexterity.
Yeah.
You know, you're just...
Very rarely.
Yeah, you just have to look around and click things, you know. So...
Yeah, and that's... Because it's so, like, laid back, I like to keep it, like, laid back, you know? I don't know.
True.
True. It's just, different, perspectives.
Because I do play God of War on easy.
Yeah, we're like flip-flops.
So I was like, fuck that. Yeah. That's so hard.
It's funny.
So hard that I didn't want to play it. So I was just like, let's restart, put it at easy, and just, like, have a nice story-driven ride. So yeah, I guess we are exactly opposite. One of those loud trucks coming by. Meow.
Yeah, because it's like, well, it's because the difficulty is different, because the difficulty in Persona is more about, like, scarcity, because you get less money, less items, less XP, and the enemies are harder. So it's like you actually have to worry about things on harder difficulties, and in God of War it's like the difficulty only is like the strength of the enemies and how many there are, and that doesn't matter as much to me. I don't know.
But, I don't know, like, the other thing is, like, there's no time limit in Persona, like, for each decision, so you can sit there and think about it and be like, Whereas, like, deciding whether to, like, attack or, like, dodge or whatever, you only have, you have to be fast making decisions like that.
I don't know.
And so that, I play it on easy, because I'm like, fuck.
Well, that's the kind of game that I like to get challenged on, because that's actually challenging, like, my skills, you know, my dexterity.
Yeah.
Whereas.
But you have a solid foundation for that style.
True.
Whereas, you know, I'm a computer boy. I was playing fucking Hoyle board games when everybody else was playing Halo. I was playing fucking Moncala with that alien guy, Al.
I saw that they're remaking Destroy All Humans. What?
I have no idea what that is.
It's a game that originally came out on the Xbox, and I'm surprised that they didn't, like, announce that it's a remake, because I saw an ad for it. They're releasing it as if it's, like, a brand new game. It's a game where you play as an alien, and you come in on a spaceship, and you can just fuck with people. And I have it on the original Xbox. And I've played it. I used to play it when I was a kid with my brother, and then I played it recently a couple years ago. And yeah, so you unlock, like, different guns and stuff, and you can, like, fuck with. It's just like a sandbox. It's like a super old OG sandbox game. Like you've never played Saints Row 4, have you?
No.
It's like GTA if you were a god to people.
Gotcha.
And you can just run around and, like, kill people in different ways. and you do different like challenges and stuff, and you're an alien, and you can like test things, you experiment on people and stuff.
Sick.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I played Kerbal Space Program.
Hmm.
Did you ever play Kerbal Space Program?
I did not.
You have to get a rocket to the moon.
Huh.
You have to build a rocket. You have to like build the thrusters.
Jeez.
Or like position the thrusters. You have to design this fucking rocket.
So could you take me to the moon if you so wanted? Could you build a rocket right now?
Me in real life? Yes. Obviously.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's do it.
Could you destroy all humans in real life?
Obviously.
Let's do it. Let's do both, and then go to the moon.
Yeah. Let's blow up the planet as we fly off in our rocket ship.
Word. Yeah. Hey Shane.
Hey. What?
This has been the Catfish Connection. I'm Nolan.
And I'm Shane.
We'll see you next time.